This espresso machine right here is just absolutely insane. This is the Wendougee Data S, and it's just a crazy, redonkulous, awesome machine. Now, with this video, I'm just going to kind of fly by the seat of my pants. It's going to be kind of like an intermediate review. I've been using this for a couple, 2-3 weeks now. And I love the machine, but I know that I have not exhausted all of its possibilities. I have not had the chance to run much for light roast through it, stuff like that. But I can tell you this much, the texture that I'm getting out of the espresso, amazing. The best yet. The texture coming out of the steam wand here, best yet. I have not made a better espresso and better cappuccino than with this machine. Now, you don't need a $3,000 machine to make good coffee. Certainly not. In fact, I can take a Dedica like this guy here, and I can make an espresso and a cappuccino better than most cafes simply because they don't generally pay attention to what they're doing. They don't pay attention to ratio. They don't know how to steam milk. But I have never been able to make a better coffee at home with the Dedica or any of my other machines that parallels a really good cafe who knows what they're doing, who watches their ratios, who knows how to steam milk and trains their baristas. I could not get that far until this machine. And I think it's for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's got a saturated brew group up here. And it's a dual boiler, so that does help. But I think it's the saturated brew group that makes quite a big difference. It's got a PID, of course. It's also got a pump that I've never used before. It's called a gear pump inside. And it has inside as well a flow meter from Cigar, which is very, very accurate. This machine is, for me, an absolute game changer for two reasons. One, the texture of the drinks. The texture of the espresso and the milk, incredible. And then also the gear pump. It's amazing. What I mean is, you set up in the app, you want a shot that runs 70 milliliters through, and you're gonna get 40 millimeters each time. 40 milliliters each time. You heard me right, because about 30 gets saturated into the puck, but you always get your 38, 40 grams in your cup every single time, which is amazing. You don't have to use scales with this thing. It's slick. A beautiful, wonderful machine. And now, when I first saw this machine at the World of Coffee in Switzerland, I just thought, gosh dang, that is a beautiful machine. I mean, really nice, beautiful paint job on it. It's all metal. Even on the inside, I mean, it's all metal, stainless steel brew group. It's got a stainless steel cutout manifold for the flow function, for the flow control. It's got Italian components like the Cigar or Cigar flow meter. I mean, the whole thing is just class, but it looks the part too. It's amazing. Just look at this wooden collar here that goes in the brew group. Beautiful. I will mention one thing right away that I noticed, and that are the different colors. So you got something like a cherry colored wood here, cherry colored on the portafilter. I would say that the knob on the steam and the knob here on the hot water, they have the same color as my portafilter here, but this switch here, which actuates like an industrial switch inside the brew group, this switch right here is like a darker brown color, almost like a walnut, and this here looks to me like a light oak on the collar. So if I have to nitpick about the design from an aesthetic standpoint, it's just the three different wooden colors. Okay, that's a little bit too bad. Would have been better if they had matched, I think. But otherwise, it's just beautiful. I mean, the whole thing is just made so robust. I'm not used to it, to be honest. Such a robustly built machine. The whole frame is, everything is metal and thick metal. It's really, really something. This polished part here, you can see, you can kind of use it to see your bottomless shots there. It's not as good as a separate mirror, but anyway, amazing, amazing machine. I guess the only thing that I gotta mention right away is that the water tank is, its dimension pretty small. It's 1 liter, 1.5 liters, and it could certainly be bigger. I gotta fill a sucker up every day. However, it does also force you to use fresh water, so maybe that's what they were thinking in the design. But I know that's a point that some people complain about. Now, I ordered the cheaper model, not cheaper, the weaker model. They have a 2200 watt model, which is this one, and a 2800 model. This one takes me about 15 minutes to heat up completely, and that's a pain in the butt. I hate it when machines need 15 minutes or a half hour to warm up. What I have been doing to circumvent that is I've been using this guy right here. This plugs into the outlet, and I just set up a timer on it. So I set this to turn on at 5:15 in the morning. By the time I stumble down the stairs at 5:45, it's good to go. So that's a good thing to have. You pretty much need something like this for any machine which requires that much warm-up time. I've also noticed, of course, that being a dual boiler and taking time to warm up, it has been costing me a bit more energy per month, but for me, it's worth it. I mean, I love testing this machine. The operative word is I love. My wife, she does not care for this machine. So, wife acceptance factor so far not good, but she's also not tried it, to be fair. She much prefers the all-in-one solutions where you just put the portafilter in, grind, automatic tamper, and stick it in the machine. This one requires an external grinder. It's just a little bit too much work for her. And anyway, that's the reason I'm doing this short review right now, today, because I gotta bring this downstairs and bring her other favorite machine back upstairs as I'm going on a little trip. Now, one more thing, guys, before we go further into the video, please do me a favor and give the video a like, and also subscribe to the video if you like videos about these kind of fancy machines. That way I know to maybe do more like this one in the future. Of course, all those things, none of those are really anything new, but what is new about this machine is the fact that you can connect an iPad to it, an iPhone, whatever. And I've got actually 3 devices connected to it right now. I got the iPad, I've got my iPhone, and I got a second iPad connected to this guy. Even this old iPad works with it. And so what you can do is you can bind a profile from here to here, or you can just operate it directly from here. So if I want to start a shot, I just go to this screen here. It allows me to choose either pressure profiling or flow profiling. So hit the start button, and you can increase the pressure, decrease the pressure, turn it off, just like that. And you can go ahead and program to your heart's desire the different curves that you want. So I've got a Cafe Crema curve, I've got a pre-infusion like a Dedica kind of curve, I got a light roast bloom curve, I got all kinds of curves on here. Also some that I just found that were in the app already. So that's neat, but that requires really more experimentation. I am just really enjoying so far using the machine already as it is. The hardware, the haptic feel of it. I love just these simple toggle switches. Really, really nice. It's also not too much steam. Some machines that are dual boilers, they have too much power, and you gotta be done steaming in 15 seconds. I'm not good enough to be able to texture milk in such a short time period. With this one, I can texture milk pretty well. There are a couple things I wish were different. Number one is this light right here. I don't know if you can see it, but this light here doesn't do anything but tell you that it's on. I do wish that the light would tell you when you're low on water. It could blink at you, for example. So when you're low on water, the only way you know is if you got your app on. And sometimes it might just be nice to take this iPad off of there. It looks prettier without the iPad. You combine one profile to this paddle. And do you hear that gear pump? It sounds super cool. And that's another point of contention, and I've mentioned this to Wendougee. What I think would be nice is if instead of just binding one thing to this pedal, why not bind 3 things? How about a 9-bar shot with 1 click? How about a Cafe Crema with 2 clicks before it starts? How about a blooming shot with 3 clicks? It would be possible. There's a couple things they can do, I think, to improve the design a little bit if they just upgrade the firmware. But all in all, it's already very solid, beautiful machine. All right, I'm going to demo the machine here in just a minute, but I got to say something first. I did not pay full price for this machine. It's a $3,000 machine. I had to pay $500 for shipping and another 100 and I don't remember how much exactly for import, but it ended up costing me somewhere around $700, which is very cheap. So it's not a sponsored video. Wendougee is not paying me to make the video. I did get the machine mostly for free, so keep that in mind. What I will say is this though. The order process is not easy. I had to make an international payment from my bank account to a Chinese bank account. I've never done that before. You can't just do it online. You got to go into your bank to make that transfer. So it'd be nice if they could streamline that process, and their website is not very good. Now you can also order these from different manufacturers. I know Bella Barista, not manufacturers, sellers. Bella Barista in UK offers them. Espresso outlet in the States offers them. So maybe use one of those outlets. Could be easier for you. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is an Espresso Roma. Now this is a very strong Robusta coffee, but it's fresh, so we're gonna do this one. I got 20 grams right here. I got a grind size of 15 on the DF54. Excellent. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to choose a profile that has 70 milliliters as the maximum water going in, and therefore because about 30 of that's going to get stuck in the puck, I would guess we're going to get about 40 out here. It's a fast fill. That means that it's going to go up to 12 milliliters per second to fill it up right away, kind of to emulate like what you get in a lever machine where you just get a big column of water on top of the puck right away. That does sometimes make it sloppy coming out, but let's just see what it looks like. It doesn't look too bad, it actually looks pretty good. And because it's so much Robusta, it's gonna fill that cup all the way up. And there we go. Filled to the brim, 43 grams. Now that is a redonkulous coffee because it is all Robusta. My favorite to use, by the way, when I'm making cappuccinos or just sipping on espresso is generally an 80% Arabica, 20% Robusta. But sometimes I use this one too because for videos, it's exemplary of what kind of crema you can get. Now I expect the taste to be a bit woody due to that espresso being Robusta, but let's just see. I mean, there's a lot of cafes in Italy that just use straight up Robusta. For the bean that it is, I mean, it's a high quality espresso bean, it's expensive. But for the fact that it is a Robusta, still has actually some sweetness in there. A little bit of bittersweet chocolate. The main note is actually bittersweet chocolate, but it's a nice balanced shot. Texture is off the charts. Ton of body, as you could see coming out. I mean, it's really nuts. And a little bit of almond in there too. So that's just an example of a little bit darker roast coffee with a high percentage of Robusta. But what I want to show you next is just how this can steam milk too. So let's make ourselves a cappuccino. Now my latte art might not look that good down here on the spot, but I've been practicing quite a bit and I have gotten some actually pretty decent looking designs. Especially when you pour the milk into the espresso right away, that's when you get the best designs. All right, 28.8. Texture is incredible. You can see that incredible texture. So, latte art for me on the spot, not too shabby. But what I will say is you can practice so much with this machine because it is a dual boiler, but also because it makes such lovely milk foam. And I'm a little bit surprised because I actually got 28 grams of water added into my pitcher through that bit of steaming, that 23 seconds it took me. And even so, I get the most tasty texture, in my opinion. Dang. With this machine compared to all the others that I've tested. The texture, really, of the drinks, which that's the thing I like the most myself. I like a nice chocolatey, syrupy, caramelly shot. I like a cappuccino that is just got such a silky, smooth, palpable texture to it. And that's what this machine delivers. All right, next, I've got a pretty light roast here. This was given to me by one of our friends. It's an Ethiopian coffee. Oh. An Ethiopian, and it's certainly on the lighter side for me anyway. I don't normally drink too much light roast espresso, but we're gonna try this out once too. I'm just gonna kind of show you that you can adjust the machine on the fly, which is nice. So I got 22 grams in because light roast is denser. I'm gonna put it on, I think 16. Oh my goodness, look at that static. Crazy. Redonkulous. Espresso is a dirty hobby. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. So I want to get 60 grams out because I want about a 3-to-1 or 1-to-3 ratio. So 66 grams actually is what we're going to aim for. And since we're aiming for 66, then what I could program this guy for would be 96, or let's say 100. But I think programming goes a little bit outside the scope of this video. So instead of programming, we're just going to start, and I'm going to adjust the pressure on the fly, and I'm going to stop it when I see about 66 grams out. So, start. So I can have a bloom if I want. The solenoid is still open, so I can let it bloom for a fair amount of time. And then I can increase it. Let's just go up to 6 bars or so. There is one limitation here per step, and I believe it's also when you're doing it here on the fly, only 60 seconds. So I gotta make sure I get my 66 grams out within 60 seconds. I'm at 51 seconds now and 54 Right here, I'm gonna stop it, have it come down, and 66, 68. That looks pretty darn good to me. So that is the cool thing that you can do with this machine, is you can make a shot on the fly like that. So if you got some beans, you're not sure how old they are, and you don't want to pound them with too much pressure, you can do that. Look at that. That shot actually looks quite delightful. Let's see how the taste is. Can only take a little taste because it's the afternoon. That's maybe the best one so far that I've tried from this bean. It's really like plummy. Almost like a plummy jam and a bit of stone fruit in there. It's actually really, really tasty. And that's what I would actually be aiming for if I got some lighter roast beans like this one. I would hope to get that kind of fruitiness, that kind of jamminess. And despite the fact that it's a lighter roast with that really forward acidity, it's still got good texture. And you can see actually nice crema on there. So for a light roast, for me, that's delightful. Probably the best one I've done so far on this machine, and I'm lucky just to have caught it live, but I've been experimenting a bit, so I'm starting to get the hang of the machine a little. But yeah, very good. With that being said, I still do prefer a darker roast. I still do prefer a little bit of Robusta in my espresso to be able to get that little bit more chocolatiness and to make a nice base for cappuccino. But this one, very nice. Well, let's draw a facet about this machine. If you're considering buying it yourself, is the machine worth the asking price, $3,000? For me, from an aesthetic standpoint, it definitely is. It is, to me, the best looking machine that I've seen so far. Maybe about the same as the Sanremo U. They're both beautiful machines. But this one, actually, to me, it looks more unique. I really like how they designed the saturated brew group. It's awesome. I like the side view of the machine, how the shell is tapered towards the back. I like the chromed feet. I like how robust the entire frame is. It's a rigid, heavy machine. Makes excellent espresso. I don't even think I've tapped the potential completely of this machine. You know, there's a learning curve. But yeah, you can play with this machine for a long time. Texture is so good on espresso and on the milk frothing. I'm a haptic person, so I really like these knobs here. It's super cool to have these toggles too. Like that, like this. I like the wooden accents. It's all sweet. The asking price, $3,000. Okay, I mean, I can see it when I see how robust the machine is. The fact that it's got a gear pump inside. It's got 2 stainless steel boilers, and they're big boilers. It's got a PID, of course. It's a lot of metal and wood and copper inside. Plus the development of the app. So I think the price is justified, but it is expensive. And here's the kicker. Your better half might not enjoy using the machine. It's not a machine for everybody, obviously, but I think for people who want to experiment, for people who appreciate the design, I think it's awesome. I hope this video helped you gain a little something from the machine. And until next time, I wish you happy coffee drinking, happy espresso drinking. Bye now.